What's up, everybody? This is James.
I'm JP.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are your CineNerds, and today we're doing one of Ryan's picks, which was?
Fall.
Now, this was a weird one for me to find, because if you type in the word fall, it's a lot of things that come up. I had to have JP, help me. Like an old man not knowing how to Google for shit. But it was, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't hate it. I actually liked it. It was fun for me. I'm just going to get into it now.
Well, let me say before you get into it.
I got to do this.
Well, no.
You can read it. I got to say this first.
We already know you guys are afraid of heights.
I got to say the reason why I chose it, though.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right.
So this movie...
I'm just excited to throw him down.
I said this on one of our earlier episodes, but I threw out that we were going to be selecting, or I was going to be selecting this one intentionally because, and I found out in recent months that JP shares this fear, but I'm deathly afraid of heights. Deathly. And so I have literally put off this movie. My wife had been asking me to watch this movie for a minute. I've been putting it off. I was like, there's no way I can make it through it. My stomach's going to drop every 2 seconds. It's going to be awful. I can't do that. So the reason I said I wanted to do it now, though, is because I wanted to take me back to that feeling of feeling genuine horror, genuine fear while watching a movie, which to me, and it was a first time watch, so that also contributed, but to me, that's some of the best parts of any movie when you watch it, that experience of genuine feeling. So I went for it, I achieved it, and I was definitely scared shitless, and we'll get into it. Go ahead, James.
So before he reads that, I'm going to say my initial response to this movie.
It's in here.
It's in there, but no,
I think I have the text. It's 2 words.
It's there's let me get out this before you read my text.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
So this movie is a really, really, really good movie. However, I will never fucking watch this movie ever again.
I agree with you. I won't either.
I will never watch this movie ever again because this is the first film I can think of in decades that fucking terrified me.
How old are you?
Fucking terrified me.
Dude, heights is real. You've got your...
We're all
go
married.
ahead.
No, we're all married here, right? So we've all had to buy tampons at some point, right? What kind do you need DS to get you?
Pads. There's differences.
With wings.
Yeah. Nighttime absorbent or whatever. Yeah. God, yes, we're all fucking married. We've all been to that line. Nighttime with wings, yes. Because nighttime are more absorbent.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Okay, so here's how my start of this happened. So I wrote, "Where can I find fall?" I'm not sure. Let me look. Apple says Stars, Prime, and Hulu. Okay, I thought I was searching it wrong. Thanks. It's just quote-unquote fall. Then he sends me the Prime Video screenshot so I know exactly the picture to look for. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Then, welcome, period. I have Scream in my Voodoo if you need to, blah, blah, blah. That's one coming up. Just give a little Easter egg there or whatever. And I wrote, I'm watching that now, actually. And then he writes, Fall is damn good, but I'll never watch that movie ever again. Fuck that movie. I laughed my ass off with a bunch of O's. And he goes, I wasn't bullshitting. And this is, within minutes. This is not he's very quick at this. I wasn't bullshitting. I had a panic attack for an hour and a half, choking because of it, pouring sweat. My hands were dripping wet from sweat. I wrote, Jesus. But the movie is damn good. But the heights thing fucked me up. I left him alone because I just kind of felt bad. Because I'm thinking to myself, it's just a movie.
No.
It was intense. It was fucking intense.
It was intense?
It was intense.
What kind of tense? Like, kind you get at Walmart?
That's my southern accent, buddy.
No. Well done. This is fatherhood kicking in. Between fatherhood and my jokes, I feel you've been inspired well. That was well done. It's a little dad joke action. Well played.
My initial reaction was this. I'll tell you what. You tell them about the movie, and then I'll tell you what I saw.
Well, before I get into that part, I got a text. My text I should have said 3 words from JP. It was "fuck you, Ryan." that was the text he sent me, and then he proceeded to say "fuck you" for this movie. I forgot what you said for that, but that part was just I was already dying laughing, saying, "Hey, I got a buddy who understands me." And by the way, JP's gonna put up a picture. My wife took a picture of me dying while I'm watching this movie, so you'll see that picture too in this.
Dude.
But okay,
Can you send me that too? I want to send it to Heather.
Yeah. So this movie has an interesting start. What I like about this movie is it goes right into it. I'm really tired of movies.
I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm really
so
tired of
the
the drag out
20
and
minutes
all that.
of nothing.
So this jumps right into it. They're already they're free climbing too. They're like they have their points they're plotting, but they're pretty much free climbing.
Anyone who does this in real life is insane. By the way,
and I respect the hell out of them for it.
I do,
but I can't do the heights.
I do. But then if something happens, I'm like, you kind of had it coming.
Yeah. So they start off. There's two girls that are best friends, and the one girl's husband. They're the ones climbing, and the reality hits them as a mistake happens while they're climbing, and the husband falls. So again, this is the first 5 minutes, so this isn't like me giving away major spoilers.
Did you notice the actor that played the husband? Did you remember him from anything else?
I think so, but I started rewatching after I started watching that.
The
100.
No, he was. I don't remember him in the 100.
Okay, no, he wasn't in that. Then.
He was in the new Scream reboots.
Oh,
do you know who his dad is?
Who's his dad?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. But he plays.
His name's Mason Gooding.
He plays Jamie Kennedy's nephews in the new Scream because they're the twins, the sister and the brother.
Yeah. Okay.
And
that's okay. I was just thinking about them too. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was him.
All right. No, I started watching The 100 recently, and the main character for Fall, she oddly looks like the character of who plays Clark in The 100.
I have to ask, did you watch that off of my recommendation of The 100?
So no, I had watched The 100 up to season 4, and I never went back in. And so I just started it. It's a post-apocalyptic thing. You won't watch it.
I would hate it. Is it a bunch of foam again?
It's great. It's actually
bunch of gray foam driving for miles.
I mentioned it in our TV series episode, and it was one of my honorable mentions I brought up about how it was just a great,
post-apocalyptic. I probably
thought
about
series.
Cheeseburgers.
I'll say this about it, and then I'll get back to the movie here. The 100. What I'm finding a problem with, I think I'm in season 6. What I'm finding a problem with it is that it's like, how many more problems of fuckery can they present?
When you get to the end of that last season, everything comes back around to the first season, and it's amazing.
Okay, cool. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so back to the movie. The climb happens. The guy passes away, the husband. The wife of the husband who dies, she's in a huge depression, huge funk. She's been that way for a year. Her father, who's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is constantly trying to make sure she's okay, constantly trying to check in on her. He loves his daughter very much, and he's just trying to be all over her during this depression. And she spiraled into alcoholism. Most people will spiral if you have a hard situation to go through. So the other best friend who's with him on the climb shows up and says, "Hey, I've got an idea. I want to get you past this. Let's climb. It's a radio tower that's 2,000 feet tall."
Well, she was there too.
What do you mean?
Was that the same?
Yeah,
girl?
she was there.
She was there.
But that's why she shows up. But there's more to it.
Yeah.
Now, I'll get into some more details and specifics, but the gist of it is they go to climb this tower and things happen, and that's where the movie unfolds. So, and it's all around heights, and 2,000 feet up on a radio tower that's super thin with a metal rusted ladder that falls to shit and strands them up there on top. They have no cell signal up there. They have no way to get down. So their first attempt is to drop a shoe, hoping it'll do like a science fair egg drop scenario, and protect the phone to get a signal out as it hits the bottom. Doesn't work. Shatters the phone, which leaves them with one phone. And because they're climbers, they have a drone as well. So the things unfold from there. And I'll stop and I'll let James talk.
I'm going to let him keep going because I might keep just going.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the middle of something here.
Well, at that point, I was in full-on panic attack.
I wish I would have been here to watch this movie with you. This is the one time that I wish I was watching a movie. Because I'm telling you right now.
Both of us.
No, you have to understand. I would have loved to just be sitting there watching you two, popcorn, laughing my ass off at both of you. Because when you did the party animal, and you're like, we should watch it all together, I would have beat the shit out of you for wasting my time. This one, Put me in, coach. This one would have been a good one.
Put me in, coach, he says.
So I was having full-on panic attack at this point, and they're climbing this ladder, and it's rusted out. You know it's going to fall.
Well, they're showing screws and...
Yeah. I mean, they're telling
you're
you...
You're stupid for even climbing it.
They're telling you what's going to happen, and it's just... I will say this. The movie becomes very predictable in a lot of ways. It kind of tells you what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
All throughout the entire movie, up until the end.
There are... Just to spin off that real quick, there are two... significant plot twists, but those plot twists, even though they're trying to what they're trying to go for, I respected, but they're very obvious.
They're obvious,
yes,
yeah. So, where are we at? So they're at the top of the tower. They're stuck. They send the drone. They finally get the drone charged after they climb up to the top to charge it.
Well, there's a first drone flight that doesn't go well.
Yeah,
and they have to call it back because the battery dies, and they have a dead drone, so they don't have it anymore. But then
they charge it from the lot, and they send the drone back out, and they get it to the hotel, which is they can see, with hopes of somebody finding the letter that they've put in this drone, and a fucking tractor and trailer hits the drone before it gets to the hotel.
Semi, right? Wasn't it semi?
Yeah, tractor and trailer. Yeah,
it wasn't even really it was like. It wasn't even like a full semi, but yeah.
You didn't really. I mean, if we're being real, it was something big because you just saw this
big truck, full chamber, big truck,
just big truck.
I'm from the South. We call those semis tractors and trailers.
Fair. Okay.
So
I couldn't tell you from South at all. Not at all.
Do you know what this is? Yeah, get your old man eyes in there.
Goldfield Trading Post.
We're playing there in Sacramento. That's how close we'll be to this actual thing. We could actually go see this.
Oh my God! You better FaceTime
We'd be
me.
36 minutes away.
What is it?
It's the tower.
We're
the radio
36
tower.
minutes from this tower.
Oh no! Fuck that.
You're not going up at it.
No.
You can just look
You don't
at
want
it.
to just see it?
Nope.
Oh, I would go with you. I'm
It's gonna make me
chicken
sick.
You're
shit.
on the ground.
It's gonna make me sick just to look at.
All right,
it.
fine.
You know
I'll
what?
tell you we're
Here-
going to.
wait.
Oh no! I'll
This
tell them
brings-
we're going to a Dr Pepper factory, and I'll just take them there anyway.
There are some evident ways you could really take advantage of JP. Clearly, by telling him
Just
certain
bring
things.
up free Dr Pepper.
Yeah.
Where? Get in the
I almost
car.
brought.
Okay.
I almost brought you the strawberries and cream one. I
Oh,
almost
he
brought
doesn't
it.
like that. I do.
I haven't even tried it.
No,
actually.
you said you hadn't tried it.
Dude, it's so good.
But back to the point. Now that brings up a curious point to me. I wondered how many people tried to copycat after this movie to try and go climb it and get on this premises.
Hopefully they just rip the thing down.
I
It
don't
makes
think
I mean,
they
it
would.
doesn't work anymore, so get rid of it.
It's the third tallest radio
I think they
structure.
said fourth.
Whatever.
in the movie, I
It's
think
one
they
of the
said
tallest
fourth.
radio structures in the
Either way,
United
yeah,
States.
it's.
I mean, it's giving me anxiety.
Here's the
right
thing.
now
Let me give
thinking
everybody
about this movie.
Let me just real quick. So this is a real thing. This is a real radio tower. It's known as the Sacramento Joint Venture Tower. It's 2,049 feet tall, which is 625 meters. It was built in 2000 as a tall structure in California, the third tallest guide mast in the world as of 2001. So something might have changed since then. And it's the seventh tallest structure to ever existed if the destroyed Warsaw radio, if the radio mask, something in Dubai, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the thing's fucking huge, and it's real. And JP's a little bitch and won't go see it with me, even if he's having both feet on the ground.
Now,
He's
I'm-
already
I'm
freaking out.
I am.
Look at it. The
I've got
anxiety is so
I've got
real.
anxiety
This
thinking
is what,
about this
you
film.
see this right here? This is what he looked like when Waylon was getting his mask done, when he was getting the casting. He was shitting himself watching it happen.
so me personally, I would go see it knowing my feet were on the ground, but I would never step foot on it. So I get both sides of it, I guess, in that instance.
Just go watch.
For me, my heights fear. I've got two fears. Mine are heights, and I guess it could be sharks or octopuses, whatever's coming up from the depths if you're swimming in open water. Like that, those two situations are situations.
Yeah, I like pools over oceans, but not only reason why though.
I
is
have no
because-
control over it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anything touching me.
Well, dude, have you ever seen I don't know if you've seen the seal video where they're dragging a dummy seal and it shows the attack process of a great white and how the speed that it comes from the bottom straight up
I
with.
want to see it.
It's horrifying. This great white, not only did the speed hit straight coming vertical up, and it goes out of the water like 10, 12 more feet because of the power behind the tail. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Good.
find that, send it to me. Here was my thing with this movie that I first off enjoyed the movie, but the friend shows up again out of nowhere, and all of a sudden is a social media star basically, and she's kind of a dick.
Oh, she's a
She's
bitch.
What's it? Danger D?
Danger D or what? Yeah, and it's like she just.
I had a couple friends who
Like,
had.
and no, first off, no one's going to peer pressure me into anything, especially something like this. Like, I'm not afraid of heights per se.
I was thinking that the whole time.
But
I was
it's
like,
like-
man, fuck her. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Don't pressure me to get a climb that.
Hold on. So this is something they had done together for years, though, the way that it's built up, and it's something that they were passionate about before the incident. So it's just her trying to get her friend back into the mindset. I understood what she was going for, but there was more to build on, which we'll dig into as to her reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
I would just never in a million years. Like, you can give me all the shit in the world. Like, I maybe this is like I'm actually kind of happy I am that way because I don't get put into situations I don't want to be in ever. But like, she was like, I don't want to do this. Come on, you're going. Then she sees her, goes, I don't want to do this. Like, you're going. Like, it's just. I don't like to use the word bullied because it's such a fucking overused word in this time. But god damn it. Like,
no, fuck the bully part. I don't even care about the bully part. I care about the shady shit that happened in the background here. So we'll dive into this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So right in the beginning, there's a scene where the wife and husband are climbing next to each other, and they're basically jumping to each other, holding hands to get each other from point A to point B. And the best friend, the blonde, she's up a little bit higher than them, and she's talking smack to him. But when the husband starts to fall and he's in a position, all of a sudden this best friend, magically like Spider-Woman, gets to where they're at, but just before the fall happens.
yeah, I was wondering, like, that was fast.
It was super fast.
Like, that would never happen.
But her passion to go towards that was quite. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, I already thought, okay, there's clearly an affair happening in my mind. So as the movie progresses, there's a thing between the wife and husband. He doesn't ever directly say "I love you." He does taps or says 4-3-1-4.
It's 1-4-3.
1-4-3. That's right.
Because it's one taps I, then it's
love
the
you.
taps,
It's the number of letters. Yes, for "I love you." And so that shoe I mentioned, they tried to do the egg drop thing with the phone with. As soon as she took that off, the blonde, her name escapes me. It's something Danger D, we'll say. When she takes her, what is it? Hunter. That's right.
Not a very girly name.
No. She hunts husbands apparently. So she takes her shoe and sock off, and on her lower heel she's got the 1-4-3 tattooed, and all of a sudden the wife's like, what the fuck? What? Why would you have that? That's something that was between the husband and I. And things start unfolding from there, and the revelation of the affair happens. And there's misguided trust. There's all these feelings. There's anger. It was quite obvious, but the way they put it in there, just like out of nowhere when the shoe came off, that was when I was like, oh, that just confirms the feeling in the beginning.
When she threw the shoe down, and they tried to pat it like an egg. Did you notice something when it hit the ground that was really fucking annoying?
How big the cloud of smoke was?
She didn't tie the shoe.
Oh, yeah. But she tied the shoe the second time, but we'll get into that one later. that was a bunch of fuckery.
Like, what the... tie the damn shoe. If you're going to throw a shoe 2,000 feet with something in it...
With a padded bra? Because, yeah, there was a push-up bra involved in this egg drop experiment.
No boobs, sorry.
Now, while we're talking about the woman's form,
this is not a good horror film.
It's an amazing horror film exactly for that reason.
Because
this is an anxiety film.
Because no boobs. None.
Well, according to Jamie Kennedy, that is a big part of.
And I do want to point out that the padded bra that went into the shoe, there's another part where she's on the laid out on the satellite dish. Did you notice that her bra was magically back?
Yeah.
I did not
notice.
I noticed that.
Well,
of course
I'm going to leave that one alone yet. What I did notice, though, speaking of the woman's form, was that, did you notice the stunt doubles in this? How fucking ripped they were versus, like, now don't get me wrong, the girls in this were unbelievably cute and attractive, and they were in good shape, but not the stunt double shape. They were like, the actual climbers were like chiseled women. So every time they were grabbing something, you saw these bulging biceps. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I digress. James, you're going on a rabbit hole over here.
I'm reading more about the tower.
You're not going to get him there.
I'm not. I don't want to go. I just want to see it. I just want to take a picture of it.
You're going to get out. You're going to get outvoted for this one. They're going to all
I'll stay in the van.
We're taking the van. Wait, Waylon, I'll pay the gas. He's sleeping. Let's go.
I will stay in my bunk.
You shouldn't have told him. You should just. You should have told me.
I thought he'd actually be kind of excited about it. I mean, you don't have. You just look up. You're just looking up. What is it? 2,000 feet's like what? Almost a half mile.
Yeah, I think the 1,000-foot mark, when they cross that, it's right before they get to the higher rusted portion of the ladder to climb. That 1,000-foot mark, she says, we've just reached the top of Sears Tower, just to use as reference in the movie. And I thought that was pretty cool, just to give a reference point. And mind you, the wife, what's the character's name? Becky. So Becky's character, even though she's been convinced to do this and agrees to do it, she still is horrified of heights and still traumatizing to her. So as she gets to that point, she's even telling Hunter, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I want to go back down. And Hunter keeps talking her back up. So
what you're saying is we need to get a copy of the theatrical release poster and put it on the wall forever.
No.
Right here so you can see it.
No.
And
I'm not bullshit. I am having anxiety talking about this fucking movie right now. Like I fucking hate it.
Let me ask you this though. Yes, it fucked with us unbelievably, but because it did that, did it make you feel something like when you first watch movies again? Besides the anxiety, did you feel like you were genuinely scared?
Oh no, I was terrified, and I was painfully terrified, and I just do not want to experience that ever again.
That's fair, but that's my goal for the movie was to feel that, and I feel like I accomplished it for myself, even though it fucked with me badly. But
like, I'm terrified of spiders, and if you'd asked me before this movie what was the most terrifying movie I've ever seen, I would say Arachnophobia.
You've already said that on the podcast, so
and
I think it stopped recording.
I would have said Arachnophobia. However,
This is my favorite episode so far.
However,
besides watching your bullshit picks, watching you squirm is way better than ripping you apart for the shit you think is funny.
Do you want to change your pick to Arachnophobia?
No, I have no desire to watch that yet. I've watched it before, and it just, to me, it's just meh.
But I can watch Arachnophobia and enjoy it because John Goodman's amazing in it. It's a fun movie. This movie there's nothing fun for this movie with me personally. Like,
you didn't learn how to charge shit out of a fucking.
Don't care.
I want to know if that works. I need to try that.
Try that.
So there's something.
Let us know.
So they have a life hack. I'll do it right now. There's a life hack that they are talking about in this movie where you can take a light bulb out, and if you get the plug in just right, it'll charge your phone, charge whatever. And she has to do this. Now, here's my question. They found the flare gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing shoes. They're trying to fly drones. She goes up there to charge it. You didn't think to just cover up the red light, the only thing that works, so people go, what the fuck happened? Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that's the only thing stopping an airplane from hitting it. That's why it's
up
there.
But there is someone out there, like people that drive that road there's somebody that drives that road every day that will go, oh, it's not blinking. What the hell? I noticed that as a kid. Even as a kid, I don't know, maybe I was weird. But
I thought about that.
Yeah, you were.
But the thing is, like, I always thought that was like a genius thing to do is put a light out so you don't hit them. So when it wasn't working, if you didn't, like, there was times where I'm like, isn't that where it's supposed to be? And then you realize, like, oh, I'm a half mile down the road because I was a kid. And I'm like, oh, I'm not in the spot I thought we were. But there's got to be someone that would have noticed in the couple of days that they were up there, oh, it's covered or it's not working. Instead of going up or like she did, go up there and take it out and leave it. Like, that would have been my first thing. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna I mean, you already climbed up that high. What's another 10, 15 feet? You're a climber anyway. Rip the bulb out. Like it's better than just sitting there bitching about how you can't get to your water.
So let's get back to taking the light bulb out and trying to plug in the charging cord, because I'd like to see you do this, because I think it would be cool to see your hair stand up without product. I'm just no product needed. Yep. Well, let us know how that goes. We might be looking for another co-host, so just.
I've been electrocuted so many times now. It actually feels good at this point. I'm like the guy in Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors. 66 times.
Not to completely break, but you have an email you might want to take a look at real quick.
An email?
Yeah, you might want to check that while we're doing this.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But as a whole, like I did not hate the movie. I actually enjoyed it. It's not one I'd watch again, not for any other reason other than once you see it once, I feel like you're good. If my wife was like, "Hey, I want to watch it," and I'd be all right, put it on. But knowing I do enjoy movies and shows and documentaries, things that are real, and knowing that this is a real structure makes it a little more fun for me. If this was just something that was just made up, I'd be like, this is a dumb movie. But the fact that it's a real thing and they went through it like the way they did, I actually really enjoyed the movie. There were some parts that, yeah, like you said, they're predictable. Unfortunately, probably necessary plot points. I did not see the twist of knowing that she was gone. I did enjoy that. So there's a spot where Hunter is going to go get water, right? She's going to get the bag. And she has to let go of the rope to get to where their bag was. And then she rigs a way to get it back to the rope, and then she's going to jump and get on that rope with the bag and then climb the rope as she's being pulled up. And she loses grip and ends up falling. I don't want to ruin this, but just say shit happens.
Well, this movie at this point is 2 years old, so just I think going into these reviews, I mean, I think it comes without intention that there's going to be spoilers in our conversation.
I wasn't ready for. I did not expect, because like they show her getting back, landing back on the rope, grabbing it, being able to stand tall on that. When in all reality, then I'm going to say about a half hour, 45 minutes of the movie goes by, and then you find out she actually died. She's laying below on where she hit, and she's still up in the air, but she's dead.
The way that transpired, though, I really enjoyed. So I'm going to rewind a little bit, though. I like the struggles they go through as they're trying to come up with solutions. So, like, the first thing they do is they see a dog and a guy walking by down below. And that's when they tried to drop the shoe originally, because they're hoping to get his attention. And they also dropped another shoe at that point because they were desperate.
Well, we had 4 shoes to start, and we ended up with 1 at the end.
Yeah, all efforts to try and get this guy's attention. But this guy, so also up in the tower, we discussed the flare gun. There's a little safety box at the top of the tower. It's got a flare gun and binoculars in it. And so they're using the binoculars to see what's around, who they can try and flag. They've got this one shot with the flare gun. And there's a trailer, and the trailer is at a distance. And they see that, and then they see this guy. The guy hears the shoe at one point hit the metal. It doesn't seem to think anything of it, ignores it. Can't hear them.
The dog even goes back, but he doesn't.
Can't hear them 2,000 feet up screaming down.
The shoe looks like it's old as shit, so you assumed it probably was there forever.
Well, when they finally do, and Hunter's got a beautiful old school Bronco. I loved it. But where they parked it was not too far from the trailer, and the trailer. There's another guy in the trailer, the guy with the dog, and they meet up. They're sitting in the trailer, and when it gets dark, they finally shoot this one chance. They think these 2 guys are going to help them. They shoot the flare. These 2 guys, instead of helping them, see that they're up there and see the vehicle is over there, and they go break into the car and take the car. So they
and they could have at least called the cops.
Yeah.
Said, hey, there's people up there after they stole the car, but they didn't. But this was still my favorite part of the movie. And do you know why?
Why?
Because they're on the ground.
I know. I kind of knew that was coming. But then from from there, the drone issues go on. The drone things happen. But when Becky is at the top of the tower after they've tried this, the backpack was the reason they went down. I don't know if you explained that part. So their backpack fell.
Yeah, she went to get the backpack because
they have water and stuff.
They got rations in it.
Had water, rations. The drone was in it, which they wanted to get the drone out. They had a whole bunch of reasons why they needed this bag, and so they didn't have enough rope to get down to it. Hunter decides to swing over, drop off the rope, thinking she can catch it again. She does. They start trying to pull her up, and she falls, and that's where she actually meets her demise. But you don't know that yet. So you're rolling along with the movie, and you see Becky kind of spiraling into madness because she's got dehydration going on. She's just not all there. There's vultures that are circling around, too, desert vultures that are literally messing with her mentally. She's dreaming about the vultures picking at her friend sitting next to her. You think it's just a dream, and we find out later it's real. Her friend acts kind of as a voice, a guide, if you will.
At one point, Hunter's sitting next to her, and she says, "You need to get your energy up." And she goes, "There's nothing to eat." She goes, "There's always something." You know?
Which I thought she was dead next to her, and she was saying, "Eat me, I've died." I thought we were gonna go cannibalism, but
no, I didn't
go
think
that
that because at that point I had already figured out. I'd already knew. I was like, she didn't ever actually get up off of the satellite.
Well, yeah, she said, what'd she say? She said something straight up. She goes, I think it was, "I'm not really here," and like just straight point blank said it to her, and then Becky started like going, "Wait, what?" And the realization started hitting her. And that's when you looked down and you saw her, and that's when that push-up bra thing kicked in for me, too. So I was like, instantly, I was thinking, did she die earlier?
Yeah,
like,
you see her laid out there dead, and that's when I noticed. I was like, she still has her push-up bra on. Like, she took that off earlier, but it's on now.
Those are those little things where a cinema...
Do they do it on purpose or not?
I think it was a mistake. It was a mistake.
But those are those catches that we see, and then we overanalyze, and
I didn't mind it, but I just noticed it because, the movie was... really kind of a horror film, and it didn't have boobs, and so when I noticed when the girl put the bra back on, even though she was dead.
Jesus Christ.
So, in agreement with JP's statement, I will say this to the movie itself. Fuck you, Fall. Did mess with my heart and soul, but in a good way.
I should have brought you guys both pacifiers. You both shook your head at the same time.
This movie's rough, man.
This
movie is rough. Like, and it's not gory or anything. I mean, it's so fucking intense. If you have severe anxiety over heights, this movie will fuck with you.
So there's a movie called because you have the claustrophobia thing too, right? Mm-hmm. So did you ever watch The Descent?
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one that's down in the caves? It's underground. It's like there's underground people. The whole bit. It's just like The Descent. What? No.
Hot Tub Time Machine?
No, there's another movie that was kind of like The Descent. Long story short, like those movies sit with me hard. There's something about those. My wife's got claustrophobia issues, so watching her try and watch that was not pleasant.
I don't like The Descent either, but I will be honest with you, this fucked with me way worse than The Descent.
Nice.
I mean, this movie, yes. I mean,
The Abyss didn't bother you?
No, The Abyss don't bother me.
I'd be more afraid of being underwater going that deep than I would be.
This movie, no.
Are you guys? Sorry, that just reminded me of something. So, are you guys familiar with the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe? Does the podcast Kill Tony? They have other comedians on. It's like a panel, and they basically give new comedians up and coming. They give them a shot. Well, Tony Hinchcliffe was performing at my venue the other night, and his opening piece was brilliant. He took the microphone, he set it down on the wood stool, and he starts slowly moving it along the stage. That's also wood, and all you hear is. And then he proceeds to go, "That was the last thing the people on the submarine heard." And I was like, holy shit, we're going in deep. He, start to finish, one of the funniest comedians I've seen in a long time, but that was the way to open a show. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, The Descent didn't fuck with me like this. I mean, none of the underwater stuff like Underwater or The Abyss or none of that stuff messed with me. This movie, man, fuck this movie. Like, it's awful. If you have anxiety over heights, man, you'll get it. It's rough.
Let me just go straight to the punch without you giving it away already, because we're way too early for the ratings portion. But is it going to impact your rating because of your fear, or are you going to rate it fairly?
I'm going to give it a fair rating.
He said it was a damn good movie.
Okay.
Yeah. In my text, he said it was a damn good movie. He just had to wear Depends and get his wings out.
Yeah.
And
nighttime wings.
I mean, it's
that is blanky.
Even though the movie's predictable, I mean, it's good. It's a good movie. It's definitely worth the watch. It is a good movie.
What was the hardest part for you to watch?
Just everything. It's just everything.
There's no
start
specific...
to finish. I was shitting myself.
There's no specific point that was worse than the others.
No. It was just all the hot stuff. It was every bit of it. It was all of it.
When she's trying to climb back up, first of all, when she jumped over to grab the rope back to start to climb up, and the girl was pulling her, I was instantly, in my mind too, I even said, there's no way she could pull her up. There's no way, she's too tiny. And I said that in my mind, I should have known it then. But still, when she jumped to that rope and she's pulling her up and she's basically hanging by this rope 2,000 feet up, my everything was that picture that my wife, by the way, my wife enjoyed watching me squirm through this whole movie so intensely.
I'm so bummed I missed out on.
Oh my god! The whole time I'm just like.
I mean, I had to pause this movie
like
a number of times and go outside and smoke a cigarette and come back in, like it was like every 15 or 20 minutes. So, I had to pause it, go smoke a cigarette, and come back.
So, do you know the dad's last name in the movie?
Morgan.
No, I mean the actual like the name in the movie.
No.
Connor, Conner.
Okay. Where's this going?
The husband who died, and the daughter, his last name is also Connor, but spelled Connor.
Well, I've got a friend with the same situation.
I just find that interesting that they just weren't that creative.
So they named her after Becky Connor from the Connors and Roseanne.
Did they spell it that way, or was it ER?
Well, it's spelled both different ways, so it doesn't matter. She had it at some point.
Yeah, you're good point.
I have two friends that had the same last name, but the difference was an E, and they got married. They decided to change the E, and that was it. So it was kind of interesting.
Pay all that money for a letter. Can't buy a vowel.
They're a loving, happy family, so it's all right.
Good for them. Whoever they are, good for them. I think I would have enjoyed watching this more if I saw it in IMAX.
No.
Oh, you know what? No, I would have absolutely done that. I would have done that.
I would not have.
I mean, I'm not going to watch it ever again. I'm in the same realm as you.
IMAX,
but I figure if I'm going to stress myself the God, I'm going to do it right at least.
Completely shit yourself.
I'd have walked out.
The audio and the giant IMAX screen.
I'd have walked out and not watched it in IMAX. I'd have got to the first little bit and said, nope.
I do. You know what? Now I do want to go back. In that part I was just describing when she drops her, I want to see if there's audio of you hear the dish hitting sound when the body hits. I wonder if there's in the background and we just don't catch it. So now I'm I want to see that part again.
Yeah. There could be.
I really want to go see this thing.
You know what is coming up in IMAX?
If you say Star Wars.
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. 30-year release is coming out soon.
Yep.
It's going to get a theatrical release, and I have a text thread to all of my kids, and I was like, who's coming with Dad? Who's going? And my one daughter, she's not a Star Wars person. And I go, Summer, this is a great one for you to start with. It'll pull you right in. She goes, sounds amazing, Dad.
I remember standing in line to go watch the midnight showing.
Were you 32?
My oldest, I took her to see Phantom Menace when she was 6 months old. Just so she could say she saw it when it came out.
You took a 6-month-old
I did.
to a movie. Did she cry?
When she did, I walked out, but I went to remember the Detroit Theater in Lakewood when it was still up?
I wasn't living here then.
Well, there was a Detroit Theater in Lakewood, and it was kind of
what year did this come out?
after Phantom. I don't remember. 30 years from now, or 30 years
I
back.
still lived here about
2004, right? Am I crazy? No. 90.
That'd been 94, 30 years.
You had a kid in 94?
Was it 20 year? What's the...
20 years, 2004.
That sounds more right.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways.
It's 24,
math.
so... Yeah.
So
We're not here for our maths.
But when I went to it, though, there was only like 6 other people in theater because it had been out for so long at that time. I just wanted her to have that.
It says here Phantom Menace came out in 99.
Why are they doing the theatrical re-release?
It says Episode 1, Phantom Menace, 99.
I was going to say, I thought it was...
25 years. It's a 25 year.
Yeah, I was going to
I'm
say,
so
I thought it
disappointed
was...
in
It was in the 90s. I knew it was in the 90s.
Yeah, it's 25 year.
Liam Neeson's?
Just Neeson.
Do you know what I'm talking about with that?
No?
You never saw the Key and Peele, Liam Neeson's?
No.
Bruce Willis? Oh, I gotta send you that. It's fucking
When I
hilarious.
think of Liam Neeson, you know what movie I think of?
Taken.
Nope. I knew that's what he was going to say.
I actually think
Star
of
Wars.
Batman Begins.
No, I don't even think of Star Wars.
Schindler's List. That was actually his first movie.
Next of Kin.
Don't even know that.
Dude, that's Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
That's a old school one.
Yeah.
That's fucking 80s.
He plays a redneck in it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
They all do. They're all.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're.
1989.
Yeah, I remember my pops made me watch that one, so that was a good one.
Liam Neeson's.
I forgot that he was in it though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He gets killed. Adam Baldwin. Is it Adam Baldwin? It's one of the Baldwins. Kills him.
Too many Baldwins anyway.
So the end of this movie. We hadn't even talked about the end of this movie.
Okay. This is actually really good.
It
This
is.
really
It's
good.
a great scene. It's a fantastic scene. Go ahead.
So after she essentially snags a vulture, breaks its neck, eats its raw meat, and gets her energy back, she
That was the best part of the fucking movie.
yeah, then she's like, it's almost like she was taking like little pieces of like, they're like little teeny. Anyways, she gets her energy back, and she decides she's going to try and make this same drop with the rope that her friend did. That her friend died. So she does the same thing. She gets down to that point where she can't go any lower, and she lets it go, and she jumps down to the dish next to her dead friend's body, which is a bad idea because you got a lot of weight on this little satellite dish. Her friend's body's all mangled, and
The vultures have been eating her.
the vulture's been eating her, and this time she gets the idea to tie a shoe, but she ties the shoe, and she shoves the shoe that's tied up inside of her friend's body so that it will definitively survive the fall. And that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was impressed that she thought of it. It's sad that her friend died, but at the same time, she's a cheating whore. Anyways, had to pull you back in from Wikipedia, man.
If you knew what I was looking, I'm just gonna go back to fall.
Her friend, she puts a text to her father because when she's going through this like crazy dementia, whatever scenario up on top of dehydration, she keeps seeing and dreaming about her dad when missing her dad because she treated her dad so poorly. So her text is to her father.
We always feel bad after.
At red exclamation points, and so she's hoping that once it gets signal, it'll go out and it'll still send. Ties it up, puts it in that shoe, puts it in her friend, pushes her friend's body over, and down it goes, and the rescue comes.
I think it's fair to say, though, like, she snapped out of her depression when she found out he was a cheating asshole. And then she just got a little bit more energy because she's like, well, you suck, too.
I like when she goes to charge the drone, and she can't get the plug down far enough, and she's like, well, fuck this ring, because it doesn't mean shit anymore,
Yep.
and drops it in the
the symbolism there
thing.
was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I do give him that.
At least he can save me while
Yeah.
I'm up here.
So, this was a running time of 107 minutes, which is not bad. I
Short,
feel like
sweet,
movies,
to the point.
anything under 2 hours, I'm happy with. If it's over 2 hours, you better nail that movie, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I mean, it wasn't a bad runtime, but it was way too long for me.
No,
I think it was perfect.
I will
was good.
say, though, like, I agree a little bit. I feel like 15 minutes could have been cut because of just. I know you need the build up. I know, but it's like this is a movie that's like what was that movie that we watched at Wayland's that just came out where they were the interrogation part of that movie? It was the whole time they're just sitting there. And
Nefarious.
Nefarious, yeah. Like
Oh, that was
if
a
you
great
don't
movie.
do that movie right, that movie is garbage.
I appreciated that movie a lot.
I actually need to rewatch it because we watched it at Wayland's, but
I love that movie.
I
It's
didn't-
so good.
I think it was like 2 in the morning. I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
But I do want to watch it. But when you have a movie that is basically stuck in one spot, and this is what it's going to be the whole movie, you got to do it right. Because otherwise, and I'll be honest, I might have actually done that with this movie if I didn't have to watch it for this. Only because
To that point.
the climb up, it's like, okay, you already know what's going to happen here. You know the screws are coming off. You know shit. Like, the predictability of knowing what's going to happen almost made me go, I don't care. Now, I'm saying I got to the end. I went through it. I liked how it all played out. But I feel like a lot of people would go, next.
The only part for me that I think could have been snipped out, but I liked having in there for a little bit of that empty feeling of despair, like they were just stranded, there's no hope, was probably the guys that stole the truck. I could have done without that, honestly, and the rest of it. But the rest of it mattered.
I know I'm climbing up a fucking tower, but I'm still taking my keys.
I like that. Actually
Just
like that. Just
because you're in the middle of nowhere doesn't mean you just leave your keys in your shit.
You don't need your keys for an older car like that.
Good point.
I like that scene just because it to me it kind of showed how shitty people are.
Well, we already know that. We're around you all the time.
Well, yeah, but on film,
I mean, that right there was a good example of people who don't like I Heart Huckabees. That is perfect right there because you guys, you got. I lost faith in humanity in that episode for us.
that movie was bad too, but bad in a different way. It was just bad.
It was amazing.
So, do you know what the budget was on this?
I do.
Right?
I don't.
What do you think it cost?
I don't look these things up because this little guessing game's fun. So if
I'm curious to see what you think it costs. Considering there's when you look up the cast, it's 4 people. Even though there was a little bit more, they list 4 people.
I want to say a certain number, but I feel like it's going to be too low because the permitting, the aerial shots, the extent of what goes into this. So I'm going to go 80 million.
80?
Whoa!
Sure. No. 3.
Okay, that was where I wanted to go originally. but all I can think of is, okay, you've got to pay the actors.
Shit, though,
Jeffrey D. Morgan's in it. You've got all the aerial shots, helicopter rentals. Then you got permitting through the state, wherever that's at. Is it California?
Just outside Sacramento, yeah.
So you've got all these other things that go into it, and so I never know anymore because, fuck, what was it? What was the recent movie that they just did that had a $200 million budget? I heard
Avatar.
Yeah. 200 million.
Well, yeah, it was all the
CGI. No. This wasn't. I thought you were talking about Netflix.
Last Airbender.
I don't think. Which I haven't watched.
I haven't watched that yet. It has bad reviews, so.
Well, what do you think the box office did?
I don't know. I've got domestic, international, and worldwide.
This came out during pandemic, didn't it?
2002. So we're kind of
Fall?
coming out of it.
It was
August
22, not 2002.
22.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say. So we were just coming out of it. People were eager to get back. 22 mil.
You're pretty
Pretty
much
damn
on
close.
it.
I've got 21.8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was 7.2 domestic, 14.15 international, and 21.8
Which it does
worldwide.
say here, it was a box office success, grossing $21 million worldwide against a $3 million budget, and received generally positive reviews. Critics praising its suspense, atmosphere, cinematography, which I do give them credit for that.
Oh my god, that was the part of the reason my stomach kept dropping.
So,
was the goddamn cinematography.
The practical effects.
Yeah, I've got some fun facts right here. So the practical effects, they built this tower.
They did say
and put it and have it. They built this tower off of a cliff, looking down, so the effects were real. It's not green screen CGI. It is practical effects. That tower was 100. They were 100 feet up in a built tower that they built for the film.
So the actual some of the actual shots are only 100 feet up though.
Yeah,
which is far better.
Yeah,
it does say here it was criticized for screenplay and pacing.
Yeah. Was criticized? How? Like what?
Like we were just saying, it could have It could have been a little faster. It could have been some things could have been.
A couple other. It wasn't a lot of fun facts, but a couple other fun facts. They had to cut over 30 fucks out of the movie to get a PG-13 because when the studio picked it up for distribution, they had to get a PG-13 rating. So they had to cut 30 fucks out of the film. They also had to cut a substantial amount of gore out of the film. However, there is a uncut that was only a version of this that was only released in the UK on Blu-ray. That is the uncut that has all this stuff added back into it.
I want that.
I would be interested to see what was actually added in, but I'm not going to watch it again.
If we get it, will you watch it?
I want to watch it because I want to hear the thump on
If
the
you
satellite
get it-
dish.
I want to come watch it with you.
So
No, I don't know.
If you get it, we'll tell him we're watching something else.
I won't booby trap him like that because this fucked with me a lot. Like I don't.
So-
I know I'm smiling
I'll
and
do
good.
it.
I got
Look
one
how
more.
red he is.
I got one more fun fact, and this I thought this one was a really cool one. So the scene where she's asking her who her favorite wrestlers are, she says Stone Cold, Mick Foley, and so on. Originally, was another wrestler was in there, and they cut it out.
Oh, it was probably what's his name?
It was Owen Hart. She named Owen Hart, who obviously Owen fell to his death at an event
Wasn't it
for WWE.
It was.
I think it was at SummerSlam. It was one.
it was
It was one of the pay.
I thought you were going to say what's his name, Chris Benoit.
No, it was Owen Hart. They took it out because they felt like it was in bad taste that they were falling and he fell from his death, and they
That's
ended
fair.
up taking it out because they thought it was in bad taste with the type
That's
of movie.
absolutely fair.
So yeah, that was the few fun facts I did find on this movie.
Another fun fact is that JP had to scrub his drawers before they went in the washer.
I think I need to do it now. Just talking about
Shit himself. I wasn't far behind. I can't even talk shit.
Shit himself.
All right, let's go into the ratings. Let's move this in.
I'm actually trying to see exactly which it was the Over the Edge pay-per-view that
Over the
that
Edge.
Hart-
Yeah, I remember I watched that live.
May
when it
23rd,
happened.
99.
Yeah, I watched that live when it happened.
I was not a big wrestling fan, but my friends always got it, so I went and hung out and watched
Yeah.
it, and
And I was a big Owen Hart fan.
because we were all like, "What happened?" Because they
Yeah.
just cut. So yeah, you don't forget that.
Yeah, no,
I mean-
I was a big Owen Hart fan. So when that happened, I was like, and I remember watching it live. So yeah, it was rough. It was
I
bad
I mean, are you
night.
sure he's really dead? Because Elvis and Michael Jackson are alive. So is Tupac.
What's your rating?
According to his wife's lawsuit, he is gone. I'm going to give it a decent rating. However, I want to be very vocal and adamant about
I think you
my
already have
rating.
been.
That I fucking hate this movie.
In a good way.
Not even in a good way. I really fucking hate this movie. But I'm going to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 3.7.
Okay.
I think we'll give it a 3.7 because it is a good movie. It's predictable, and I fucking hate the movie. But
What'd you
3.7. 3.7 nerds from JP.
so I think the vast majority of you will enjoy this movie. I do not. Fuck this movie. Never watch it again.
What do you got?
3.29
Niner?
gigahertz.
Did you say Niner?
1.21 gigawatts.
I gave it a 4.9er. And I say that because, well, I watched it again, probably not. But with that being said, it wasn't a bad movie. I would actually love to see the other version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'd watch that.
I would have. I think I would have
Because you could
preferred to
feel,
watch
you
the
could
uncut.
feel this one was tamed back.
Yeah.
I mean, the gore I don't care about, but the more of the realistic, like I was so annoyed. I was annoyed when they start laughing, and I get it. It's probably a nervous laugh when you're up like that, but I would never be like that. Me, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I am not we need to figure this out. So that, to me, that was a little unrealistic. But then again, maybe it is realistic because people do that. When they get nervous, they laugh. So yeah, I give it a 4.9er.
4.9er?
4.9.
No, 4.9 CineNerds? Or are you just doing...
We'll do a 4.09er.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
I was
figured
like,
that's
you
what
took
he
that up
meant.
to almost a 5?
No, I'm not gonna give it a 5. It was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, and I'm loving it even more because of.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's sitting there he is oh god.
He does the old... That's his old man stance
Yeah,
anyways.
no, the
That's-
legs, yes. The hands, no. This is I am
Yeah,
so
this-
uncomfortable.
I am.
Are you gonna smell your fingertips too, like Mary Catherine? Yeah. Sometimes they get nervous. Anyways.
Do you need another Dr. Pepper?
I'm gonna go get another one. I'm about to drink this one.
Stress drinking diet Dr. Pepper. Is it diet? Wait, is that diet?
I feel
freaking out just talking about it.
I feel like I
can't
need.
even hold it. It's like,
You're scream crying. Calm down.
it's like his teddy bear. He's just like,
This would be much more comforting if it had a pacifier attached to it.
I got a pacifier for you, buddy. Anyways, I'm going to go into my rating now. So for me, this movie hit all of the checkpoints to significantly scare the shit out of me. Made my stomach drop numerous times. Deathly Afraid of Heights. I'm not going to hold that against it, though. It did go for some plot twists. It did have very decent acting, I felt, considering they're pretty relatively unknown actors. And it went a long ways. And like JP said, I think a lot of you guys will enjoy this, though, especially if you don't have a fear of heights. So I'm kind of right there between these two. I'm at 3.9 because it still just is a movie. And the reason I gave it that high rating though is because it took me to that moment where I could feel something in a movie watching it first time again.
Do you really feel like they were unknown actors considering she was Shazam?
She's in Shazam. Wasn't it after that though? Because she
would have been the one before it. She'd been in the first.
Oh
one.
yeah, but she still had a minor role in that.
2019 Shazam.
Yeah. So
anyway. Yeah, I didn't even know because I never watched it. So
because I think Fall was supposed to come out earlier and it got delayed because of pandemic. If I'm correct.
Well, this might have been my favorite episode so far.
All right,
Mine
we'll
was
take
a
it.
party animal.
Now you know how we felt. We have now reversed the roles.
I Heart Huckabees.
What a shit movie.
No, Party Animal was a shit movie.
They were bullshit. I don't give a fuck what movies. They were both garbage. Straight
That
lighted on
no,
fire.
We're gonna bring this to a close. If you guys are wanting to send us any movie suggestions, any questions, anything you got, you guys can
better than I heard of.
You guys can email us at 3cinenerds@gmail.com. If James will stop talking over the rest of the info, I'll be able to get it to you. Don't worry. If you want to go to our bio on Facebook, go to our bio on Facebook, and you can check out all of our available streaming platforms for our podcast, as well as our merch link. You good, James?
Nope.
Now you're a cherry tomato right there with me. Well done. Andy's crying.
His face is
But
so
I wasn't
red.
scared.
I don't know. That's the same. That's
We
the
need to
same.
get a PO box so they can send you wings.
That's the same color. That's the same color and tears that you get when Heather beats you. So I don't know.
It's worth it.
Worth it.
So, give us a follow, share, like, invite your friends. Like I've been talking about, please go to our Spotify or Apple. Give us a review. Everything helps.
Oh, now he shuts up. Jesus Christ. I'm glad that
We're out.
Yeah, CineNerds out.
Bye.